Well, yes, indeed, Honorable. Let me ask you this, because many just ask themselves, what exactly is going on? Because this is the former chairman who was also accused by some of his colleagues of cornering some projects to his constituency, and now he's no longer chairman, and then we've seen this allegation to key principal officers of the House. He's asking them to resign. From your perspective, having been in the House, what do you really think is going on?
Well, I think, with all due respect to both parties, the House, principal officers, and also my friend that is making the allegations, I think that my brother is just too quick at reacting to the fact that he lost the chairmanship. I'm saying that because if you had followed up with the issues that arose from the budget process, where even some figures were missing, allegations were made as to some funds allocated for Lagos-Calabar railway line were missing, and found in other Gombe, Kano, Aziz, and some other provisions were also removed, altered, and Mr. President shouted out and said, look, I won't touch this budget except it is put properly in a manner in which, if not in which I presented it, but reasonably convincing me that the figures are there and they were channeled towards, making life meaningful to Nigerians. And in that process, most of all of them, including my brother Abdulmuni, participated in even attending the meetings they had in the villa. I'm wondering, what must have happened if at that point where you were given the opportunity to say, hey, yes, this thing happened because the two principal officers, both in Senate and the House, asked myself and my colleague in Senate, Daju Magoji, to alter what the total House had done, Nigerians will listen. And they will probably begin to ask those two principal officers questions. But you waited till after all the drama that took place, all the disagreements that took place, all the agreement that took place, and the conclusion that came up. But said eventually the budget was passed, assented by the Mr. President.
Honorable, if I could jump in there,
implemented.
If I could jump in,
and for one reason,
we did also
and if I could remember,
pardon me, but
his deputy.
Can you hear me, Honorable?
His deputy individually.
Yeah,
yes,
just
I can hear you.
You know, we also asked him that question yesterday. That, look, why did you have to wait until now? He said, look, he had tried to see the speaker several times, but for some reason they were avoiding him, and so he couldn't gain access, and so he had to just bring it up at this time.
I don't think that. Let me tell you how the House works. Every member, serving or not serving, have an unfiltered access to the principal officers. If you can't see them outside the plenary, when the House is about to convene, possibly the speaker comes in 30 minutes before he comes to the chamber, he has about 15 minutes to meet with the principal officers, 15 minutes to also have some discussions with members who will be in his general waiting room, where all of us convene, and at the end of the day he will go to the chamber. So even if you cannot, or you couldn't meet him probably in his house or in the guest house where all members also meet, you also have an opportunity to even confront him before he goes into the chamber, and let even the members ask questions. Why are you confronting the speaker openly before he's going to the chamber? None of this took place, as I can remember. And why, if I were him, mine would have been to just let the issue of losing chairmanship go.
So you don't believe that these allegations are real? Because some people will say that in the Senate it would seem that it was handled differently. We did see a reshuffling of Senate committees. In the House, he was the only one who seemed to be let go. Do you think that the Senate has handled this a little wiser?
No, I think from what I gathered,
yeah.
you know, I mean, whether you are in or out, you keep a tab on what happens in the, because it's your institution, you don't leave it. I know that rising from what happened, and also when the budget was finally passed, most members found out that what they included as, in quotes, their consensus project was not what they saw. And you can't hold the principal officer responsible for that.
Mr. Elumelu,
like I said, I was House Committee Chairman on Power, I was House Committee Chairman on Health.
Mr. Elumelu,
whatever happens on the details of what were virtually submitted to the appropriation, I hope I should be held responsible.
Sulaiman is coming in now.
Just allow me to comment quickly here, Mr. Elumelu. Quite a number of issues you've tried to touch here, but good thing that you're here. You've seen it all there in the House. Perhaps tell us how it's been like. Has this ever happened before? Because if you put this side by side with another man who's been there before, former President Olusegun Obasanjo, in your time, there were issues concerning the power project, there were issues concerning the subsidy regime, there were also issues now talking about the padding. And now he's come up to say, that's former President, to say so many of the people there, and not, in his words, he said, well, the lawmakers, he used such strong words. He said, rogues, robbers in the National Assembly. Would you say some of those of your colleagues then and even now, what the former president has just described them?
Well, you know, let me put it in a very light mood. Baba is my father, and I wouldn't want to go to the extent of touching deeply into what his comment. But let me clearly say that you recall that we had issue of totem, and whether we like it or not, you know, things happen during totem issue. So that is what I can touch on that aspect. And
you think he still hasn't forgiven members of the National Assembly?
Well, you are saying that because totem issue is something that I know that Baba will never forget, you know, and it's still in his heart. He still feels bad about it.
But on this one, he hasn't talked. He didn't say. I mean, he said you can say what I said said before was true, and he said the solution is get men of integrity there. That's what he said.
Yes.
Do you think that with this sort of scandal that we've seen play out now, we have men of integrity in the National Assembly?
What is the scandal?
You don't think this is a scandal?
There's nothing like scandal.
But you were embarrassed and shocked.
I was embarrassed
and surprised.
Not on issue pertaining to the institution, but on the individual that is making an allegation, because that is his duty.
These allegations, are they not scandalous?
To him, coming from him, is ridiculous. The issue was scandalous. It is ridiculous because he is the chairman. He was the chairman. He was the chairman. Like I keep saying, hold me responsible for what happened as chairman, House Committee on Health or Power. So as House Committee Chairman on Appropriation, he ought to have known that on no account, he swore on oath to uphold the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and to protect everything that has to do with Nigeria. Therefore, for somebody to tell you to alter something and you didn't speak out and you waited for you to be relieved of your position as chairman, and now you're speaking out. Please.
Honorable, we have to thank you for coming on the program this morning. We've been speaking to Honorable Ndudi Elumelu, who is a former member of the House of Representatives. Thank you for coming on this program. On that bit, back to you, Chamberlain.
Well, yes, indeed, and we also have attempted to get across to the leadership, those who have been accused about this. So just hang on. We will speak at the appropriate time. So we will wait on them to speak up when they think it is necessary. But we will also bring you other perspectives and more details on this as we get them. Well, that's the show today. We thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time. I'm Chamberlain Uso.
Many thanks. I'm Sulaiman Alede.
And thank you, Amaokbe Ogun.
Goodbye.